All right, what is up, guys? It's been a while since an update. Got some exciting news. I'm sitting here driving back to the house, so I thought I'd just do a quick little interior video real quick and show you guys the new ride. So we just picked up a 2025 Ford Raptor 37 Performance Pack in forest green. This thing is so sick. I don't even know where to start, but I just picked it up today, got excited driving it back, thought I'd go ahead and make a video for you guys and just kind of showcase some of the things on the interior here, and then I'll kind of show you the interior once we park. But this thing is cool, big move. One of my dreams growing up is, having a new Raptor, much like I'm sure a lot of young guys are in high school. The Raptor came out and it's like, dude, that's what I want. And I've actually owned now all four, well, may only be three or four generations of Raptor. I've had the Gen 1, Gen 2s. The only one I did not have was the 22s or 23s. And then they changed the body style in 24. Well, I say body style. They did a facelift on the headlights, the grille, bumper, all that good stuff. And then the tail lights are obviously different. And they put the new digital screen in here with a heads-up display. So a couple things that changed. There's also a lot of stuff that I did not realize came on the 37 package. I always said, I was like, man, it doesn't make sense to buy a 37 package, just buy 37s after you buy the truck, because the package is like a $9,000 option. So I didn't really understand why. Well, I'll show you guys once we get out, but the 37 package has a different front bumper, so it has a higher ground clearance on the front. Then you have the 37s, which bumps that ground clearance up even more. The shocks are the live valve Fox shocks, but on the original Raptor, they just have the standard coilovers on the front. This has a single live valve on the front and a dual live valve in the rear, along with the 5-link suspension in the back, which just makes this thing insane. We're about to go over a huge railroad track right now, and you didn't even feel it. I mean, this thing blows me away. And every Raptor, it's like, as soon as you quit driving one, you realize how nice they are to own. And normal everyday driving is just so much nicer. And I still have my F-150 limited power boost that I'm gonna be using for most of my mileage for work, because the thing gets such good gas mileage. I've been babying this thing since I got it, and I'm averaging 14.4 in the Raptor. My power boost, if I'm going like 75 highway speeds, it's getting like 22 to 24 miles a gallon. So definitely gonna miss that. And the power boost is a little bit quicker, obviously. Smaller tires, about the same power output, and it's lowered, so it's a little bit more of a hot rod, if you will. But this thing is just so smooth, man. Every time you get into a Raptor, especially if it's like your first time, you immediately notice the ride quality on it and just how big these things are, and like the road presence that this truck has. I mean, it really does. It kind of takes you back for a minute as soon as you're in one or drive one, and you're like, okay, now I understand why this truck cost, 20 grand more than a normal F-150. There's just so much to it. But also, there's a performance exhaust on it, which I believe is just the rear muffler deletes. I think it still has the resonator on it. I still have the active exhaust that works on this, so they didn't mess with anything from the mufflers forward, I don't think. I think they just deleted the rear mufflers to make it a little bit more rowdy. But even right now, y'all can kind of hear it. It's in Baja mode. I can hit this button right here and change it to quiet. And I don't know if y'all just heard that or not, but now the truck is like, you can't hear anything except for the tires, the road noise. So that's super cool. I've actually really enjoyed that, having it, just because there's sometimes you want to hear it. Sometimes you're on the highway and you're on the phone and you don't want it to be, droning. Not that this drones, but any loud exhaust is a little annoying on highway speeds, no matter what vehicle it's on. Like right here, we're gonna put our foot down and pass this guy a little bit, and I can show you guys some of these features. Switch it to sport mode, changed everything. You can kind of see all the little options there that you can pick, but just a little, a little half throttle, put your foot down. course, I'm back out of it, but man, it's just so smooth. This truck just, it makes it so hard not to stay in a Raptor once you have a Raptor because of how smooth these trucks are. And obviously, like, Ford did a huge upgrade on the interior. All their F-150s are super slick on the inside, but just like the subtle touches that the Raptor has, and specifically the 37 package that makes it a little different. You know, you have your accents that are really nice, but like this carbon fiber trim, that is real carbon fiber. And I didn't think it was, but that is real carbon fiber. There's also, I believe, this that they have in carbon fiber. You got carbon fiber across the passenger on every door handle there. The steering wheel, super nice, really meaty. It's a super comfortable steering wheel to have. What I really like about this steering wheel that they incorporated that they did not have on the old Raptors, and it's definitely not on the new F-150s, is this little grab right on the back hand side, and it's kind of hard to tell. I'll see if you can see it, but it has a little bit of a lip to the steering wheel right here, and it just makes your hands fit so nicely on the steering wheel, to where you really have a handle on this thing. And then obviously this right here is really nice to grab. The paddles are fantastic. I mean, the aluminum paddles are so sick. They just didn't cheap out on this truck, and it makes you feel like it's worth the money that they're charging for it, if that makes sense. I mean, even the finishes up top here, this nice leather, red stitching everywhere. We got the Recaros with the suede inserts. I mean, this thing is just phenomenal. I'm in love with it. All the red stitching is beautiful. This one actually has the workstation, which is nice. My Limited does not, because they have a Limited plaque right here that can't flip down because it would probably just destroy everything right there. So all of this stuff, man, is just super cool. Super happy with the truck. The only option this truck does not have on it, which I'm glad it doesn't, is the sunroof. You know, the sunroof's always really cool, and I've enjoyed them on my other trucks, but just from experience, whenever the truck is kind of ragged on, or you're on rough roads a lot, or you drive a ton of highway miles at 80 plus miles an hour, whatever the case may be, after a couple years, it starts to deteriorate all the seals in those, and you will get play in your sunroof. Now, even if you don't use it, it's sitting there bouncing on these rubber seals, and it keeps it from being 100% soundproof. So like, even in my Limited, whenever I'm going really fast, I can hear air through the top, and I don't really like that too much. And even in our new Navigator, it's a 25 Navigator. We were going on a road trip to Colorado, and you know, 400 or 500 mile road trip, and we were on super rough, icy roads because all the ice froze, and so it was super choppy. And I could hear a piece in the sunroof barely moving. I mean, it's not messed up, but there's nothing wrong with it, but I could hear it barely moving, and I just didn't like that. So I'm happy with the non-sunroof package, if you will. It literally has everything else: 360 camera, front camera, all the good stuff. I'm trying to think if I'm missing out on anything, but this truck's definitely not a hot rod with the 37s. Looks like there's a farm sale going on. I may be wrong, but I believe that's what that is. You see a lot of trailers and at a farm, a lot of equipment. Definitely starting an auction on some farm equipment there. That's what we used to do. I used to be a good old cotton farmer out in West Texas, and changed everything, obviously. Haven't looked back since, but man, I'm just super happy with this truck. Even the seats, they are so comfortable. That bolstering on the sides right there, and the spot right in the middle is actually super, super nice. Like right here, it keeps my phone in place a lot. These suede inserts are super nice during the morning, because, and I'm sure it'll be the same way in the summer, but they do not get too hot or too cold. They stay a pretty good temperature to where you can use your seat controls and heat it or cool it to whatever temperature you want pretty quick, which is awesome. And then, I mean, pretty much everything in this thing is premium. Zero complaints. I've barely owned it, obviously, but it's one of those things, like, you can tell when a vehicle is built correctly and when you're not going to have issues with interior pieces making noise or something peeling off or whatever it was. And this thing is just phenomenal. The screen they did is way better than my 23. I'm sorry, I have a 22 is my limited, but they changed the screen a little bit to where it's actually like now a big flat screen. And used to, they had a flat screen, but then the dash had its screen over it that was kind of slanted, and it kind of just looked different. This looks a lot more clean, a lot more in place, which I think is really cool. And you also have, let me see if I can, right here. So you have your my gauges, you know, it shows your turbo boost, all that good stuff. But then you can go to this performance page, performance view, and it gives you a whole new layout. Those lights at the top right here are the shift lights. So I can set shift points on the truck to where when you're romping on it in manual mode, it tells you exactly when to shift, when you want to shift. So you preset those limits, say 5,500 RPM or whatever it is. You can actually see right there, I have mine set at 5,500. And if you leave it in stock, it'll pull out to 58 or something like that, almost 6,000. But you get a lot of your meat from swapping or changing gears at 5,500 because you're just constantly in boost. So this thing's super cool, man. Couldn't be more excited about it. As soon as we get stopped up here, a little bit of a drive, but as soon as we get stopped up here, I'll do a little review of the exterior and kind of show you guys all the cool stuff that the 37 package has on it, and even like little details like that, man. Like that may seem stupid to some people, but it's just a premium upgrade that they do not have in other vehicles, and it makes you feel like the truck is worth what you pay for it. If that makes sense. Now, obviously, the only upgrade from this exact package, besides the sunroof, is the Raptor R. It comes with a big V8. That truck, brand new for brand new, you're talking $93,000 for a 37 performance pack, or $124,000 for a Raptor R, and that is without markups. I mean, there's two for sale Raptor Rs that are, you know, they have a couple hundred miles on them, so I don't know if they were just test drives or if someone already traded them in or what, but they have them listed with markups like over 130, which is just insane. I don't know. To me, yes, the motor would be amazing to have, but this thing already rips. Like, how often are you actually going to use that? You know, I say that. I have a heavy lead foot, so if I got it, I would definitely be beating the shit out of it and having fun. But once that fun factor is over and you're just kind of cruising to work and you're getting worse gas mileage, you know, it obviously sounds better, but that amount of money, $40,000 for the engine upgrade, I just could not justify it. I don't know how people are. I would feel so guilty putting miles on the pickup. I mean, as y'all can see, I've been on the same road for the last 5-10 minutes just driving home. I mean, I drive at almost 100 miles a day minimum, just from leaving home, taking the kids to school, working around town, and then driving back, going back and getting the kids. Tonight we have 2 Little League games. Like, it would absolutely kill me putting miles on a Raptor R. It wouldn't feel right. And obviously I know, like, use the truck, put miles on it, but for useless running around, you're taking such a cash hit on the value of that pickup that you will literally have to own that pickup the entire length of your note, and it'll probably take 2 or 3 years to get positive on that vehicle as far as equity goes. Because even, I mean, unless you can get one that's at sticker that you ordered and, you know, it's all good, then you can drive it for 5,000 miles, 10,000 miles, and probably sell it for more than you bought it for. But that's not the case. These people are going to dealers and just buying them off the lot and getting absolutely wrecked on the vehicle side of things, to where you're so upside down on the pickup. So it just doesn't make sense. Maybe in another life, but to be honest with you, for 130 grand, I'd rather have a McLaren or a GTR or something cool that people understand costs that much money. To the normal everyday person, they're not gonna see anything different from my truck to a Raptor R except for a decal. And so for me, it didn't make sense. Big fan of that truck, obviously, but the price tag is just horrendous. I can't bring myself to buy one of those. So yeah, we're almost to the house here. As soon as I stop, I'll give you guys a quick little walk around of the outside and kind of see what we're working with there, but she's pretty. All right, so we just got here. Here she is in all of her glory. Don't talk too much trash about my yard. It's weed season. About to get her all cleaned up. This is what I was talking about. So this 37 pack, but there's the, he actually has a set of springs on here that I didn't know. So this may actually be taller than a normal one. But there's the live valve, and you can see somewhere down at the bottom, here's the valve. So you got one valve in the front. Here's the rear. You got your dual live valves in the rear, along with the 5-link suspension underneath. And this thing just rides like a dream, man. It's so cool. This is what I was talking about. I think they just deleted these. So, nothing too crazy, but it does sound extremely rowdy compared to a stock one. I don't know. It has to be muffler deleted. But it is amazing. Got the hard cover on it. A little windy, so it might be hard to read or hear me. But this is the modular front bumper that I was talking about. So it actually cuts up right here. Gives you a lot more clearance. This whole piece right there is different than the regular 35-inch package. You got your skid plates obviously underneath. And there it is, the live valve. You can see. I actually got dual on the front. So we have dual live valves all the way around. I didn't even know that. I thought it was single on the front, 2 in the back. That's what you get for watching somebody else's YouTube video, I guess. But 17 bead locks on 37s. Thing is absolutely gorgeous. This color is growing on me. I want to wrap it satin black for my company, but she's doing just fine for now. This color, man, it is so pretty. It's hard to see, but this forest green looks really pretty. I wanted to give you guys a quick exhaust note from firing this thing up. It always starts in normal mode, but just wait till you hear the difference on starting it in Baja versus normal. I've been driving this all morning, so this is not a cold start, but you kind of get the idea. You hear it kind of quiet right there. Watch how much of a difference it makes. And this is the coolest part, man. The active exhaust, the suspension changes, steering wheel changes. You got a Raptor button here that has preset modes that you can just hit. So you can hit this exhaust button. It's in normal. Listen to the difference. Here's sport. It's kind of hard to tell from back here, but it is a much deeper tone. Again, it's kind of hard to tell when you're not on the gas, but still a V6. Let's not get it twisted, but it is a super cool addition that they made for the active exhaust. Because everyone, you know, you want to hear your truck ripping every now and then, but you don't need it all the time. I think that's kind of where people deter themselves on getting exhausts, is for that purpose. Dumping some trash out, but I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you can see it. Heads-up display. Like having a heads-up display on a Raptor, that's just so sick to me. I don't know why, but it makes you feel like the truck is worth the money, and that's I think all we can ask for. As a customer / consumer, is getting what you paid for. Sound system is phenomenal. I mean, I'm sure there'll be something that I am not a fan of, but I really loved my 22 Limited, and it just seems like this one took an upgrade in every aspect, and that's coming from a limited trim F-150 to this. Like, this is an upgrade compared to my Limited, and that makes a big difference to me. It makes me feel like I didn't pay more to downgrade, And I think that was a big problem in the earlier Raptors, is unless you got the cool Recaro seats, it's like everything else is just an F-150 on the inside. They completely branded it different now and did a lot of things differently that I think they nailed it. I think they hit it out of the park. Absolutely phenomenal. Till next time.